That's called Crying Sleeve, live music in our studio from Alfonso Velez, singing and playing the guitar with Will Rast at the keyboards, both our piano and the organ, Jerry Busher playing the drums, Jeff Ratner playing the bass, and Alfonso, welcome to Soundcheck. Nice job. So let me ask you, I mean, you're born and raised in Mexico, but, you know, because your mathematician father and your architect mother traveled all over the world, so did you. How did such traditional American-sounding music come to be such an important part of your life?
I think it's in everybody's DNA. When you hear the 1-4-5 and you hear Count Basie and Ray Charles, I don't think you have to be from anywhere in the world to be able to really identify with that kind of music.
And is that how it began for you, with
really
Ray
did.
Charles and Count Basie?
My father had a Count Basie record, and yeah, I broke the needle on it. I broke the needle on it, and yeah.
So were you raised in a Spanish-speaking household?
Yes, we always kept Spanish at home, and still do, and it's a big part of me.
So when did you begin to feel comfortable enough with English to start, I guess, A, singing in it, and then B, writing in it?
I guess when I saw, you know, what authors can do and what translation of other authors can do as well. You have like people like Nabokov and Bulgakov, which are translated into English, and their stories come across, you know, and I think they have supervision over that sort of thing as well.
So did you, when you started writing songs, is that how you saw it, as kind of like a process of translation?
Yeah. I think some songs belong in Spanish and some songs belong in English. I just feel like most of the stories that I have to tell right now are in English. Mm-hmm. And I hope to tell some in other languages at some point. All
right. Now, there's a definite sense of, you know, people keep invoking the same names when they try and compare you to other people. You know, the band, Paul Simon, especially from the 70s. I mean, you're not old enough to have lived through that music the first time it came around. Is there something in those older sounds that resonates with you?
Well, my mother told me that the first concert I ever attended when I was in the womb was Paul Simon in Central Park.
Really?
Yeah. They do resonate with me, and I just feel that there's a level of honesty to those particular songwriters that I can really identify with, and I can live my life through those songs as well. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why they're legends.
And so, you know, are you trying to extend? I mean, I guess what I'm asking is, what do you bring to, you know, Paul Simon did his thing 30-odd years ago.
Right.
Obviously still doing it now.
Totally.
What are you doing? Are you trying to extend that songwriting tradition or something?
You know, I don't really have a clear vision. I just think that I'm a product of my experiences, and that's the palette of colors that I've chosen to paint this picture with.
You know, there's an old Italian saying that translates, traveling forms youth. And you did a lot of traveling
I
as
guess
a
I'm
youth.
forever young.
Touche, very good. You know, do you feel like traveling to Buenos Aires, living in Moscow, do you feel like you've had, you know, these kinds of experiences that you can draw on when
Absolutely. And I feel that's probably why I feel so at home in New York. You know, I got the world here.
So why New York? I mean, you have been all over the world. What was it that brought you here in the first place?
A friend of mine that I grew up with in Argentina gave me a call out of the blue and said, "I'm leaving to Texas. Do you want my apartment?" Just like that. And I said, yes. And I was in D.C., which is where I'd met Will, and Jerry knew Will, and I just came up here because I needed to be here. I knew it was right. And I think it's the first place that I've ever gotten where I felt totally home. Didn't have to wait to assimilate or, you know, it's just such a magical place.
Yeah. Certainly very different from other places that you've lived. I understand when you were in Moscow, I mean, you actually had to stand on a bread line to get bread. And
yeah, I think it was through school, really. I attended a school with French and English kids, and we were taught Russian every day. And as part of one of our Russian classes, we went to a bread line. And, you know, at that time in 88, 89, like, you have people that are standing in bread lines without even knowing what's at the end of the line. So it really kind of put in focus exactly what a regime can do.
So you were in Moscow
yes.
The fall of the wall.
I was in the Kremlin. I was in Kremlin for the first New Year's of the Russian Federation.
Wow. Why were you there?
My father accepted a job there, and my mother was also designing interior apartments as well. So it was a real chance to go to a place where you know, it was really happening, and they took the risk to take us there. And I take it every day with me, I really do.